besides don't be afraid to order your supplies. There's also things that the dance wear companies can do, right? I know that at our shows, kids are always looking for tights or just I mean, they buy dance wear all the time. So maybe contact your local competitions, local, who's in your area. Maybe you can cross sell with them on some level when they're in your town. You know, look up wherever you are, look up who's there, and see if they'll open the door to you, especially in an effort to get the industry back up, rolling, and flourishing. So maybe do some sort of cross selling with competitions or even dance studios who sell merchandise as well. Maybe come up with ways of, you know, customizing team jackets or some, dance wear that's customized, something that will keep, you know, people buying and keep them involved. Again, my prediction is that what I'm seeing is things are bigger than ever. I would not have predicted this when we started up our season in November. I was planning for a much reduced season. I figured if we ran, after not running at all, if we ran at about 50, 60%, that would be a gift. It would be a blessing. But we are running at 100% at this point, despite the restrictions. So I wish there were more days in a week. I wish we could accommodate everyone. I do my best to accommodate them, but unfortunately, I think across the board, everything is full. And again, every competition director I have spoken to wants things to go back to normal. The studio block is not here to stay. Please remind anyone that you talk to, parents, we are not going to stay with that sort of a schedule. That's for now. So we had the pandemic, then we had the opening, and this is what we all had to do to open. And now as things improve, and they are improving, and more importantly, the industry figures out how to navigate around it to stay safe, but still be able to run dance classes and have competitions and so on. If you need to reach out, because my time is running out, if you need to reach us, I'm pretty good at personally answering. And if not me, one of my colleagues will answer. Feel free, if there's anything I didn't answer or you have any questions, to email info@starbound.net, or you can also message us on Instagram. It's starbound.com. C-O-M-P, Starbound Comp. So message us on Instagram or send us an email. We'll answer. I look through them personally myself. I'll probably answer some of them as well. Any questions you might have, but I'm going to end with, trust me on this. My prediction is things will return. We will have competition normal. So you'll be back to running straight through, and your dancewear companies are going to flourish. So hang in there. I know it's been a rough year, but things are on their way up, and it's trickling down to you guys as well. So thanks for listening. Thanks for having me. And it's been a pleasure. Maybe we'll get a chance to do a Q&A later on. If not, info@starbound.net or starbound.com. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Sandy. So now that we have heard from studio owners and a competition director, we are going to bring in two dance retailers to talk about what it all means for you. So we have Jennifer Watson and Rashawn Buxton here with us. So I'd love for both of you to talk about, first, tell us a little bit about yourself and your store, And then curious for any responses to anything that you just heard from Danny, Becca, Sandy, and what you think it means for you as you are planning what the rest of your year looks like. Rashawn, do you want to go first?
Sure. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello, everybody. And thank you guys for having me, Dance Media and Dance Business Weekly. So I'm just honored for the opportunity to be here. My name is Roshan Buxton, affectionately known as Miss Rowe, and my store is called Miss Rowe's Dance Closet, and we're located in Atlanta, Georgia. Is that what you wanted? Just that?
Yeah, that's great. And then if you could also talk a little bit about what any responses to what Danny, Becca, and Sandy said, and how you're thinking about the year ahead.
So I think that the ladies all gave out some great information. Some of the things that I did kind of want to speak about for Becca and at the studios, they mentioned how maybe the dance retail store could reach out to them a little more. And I think that is an excellent idea. My question would be is getting to the studio owner or director, not just a parent that's kind of at the desk and your paperwork or the things that you're bringing may just end up sitting there. They may not see the, I don't want to say urgency, but the importance of what we're bringing to them. So we can bring flyers and stick them on the walls at your studios, but if we don't actually make that connection with the directors, I think we just become another piece of paper hanging on the wall. And so I think us getting out to you guys is an excellent suggestion. But once we get out there, how do we get to you, or how do we make the connection with the people that are really going to make the difference, and we're not just leaving flyers and paperwork that you may never see. So that was a question. What was the other thing?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we're sort of getting the same question in the competition world as well, from Ashley in the chat, wondering who to reach out to at competition. So maybe if we have some time at the end, Becca and Danny and Sandy can give any additional tips or strategies about sort of getting your info to the right person, making the connection with the right person.
Right.
But yeah, go ahead.
That was one of my questions for the competition too. She said it very well. She said what I was thinking. My question was, how do you get the local dancewear stores to be a part of the competition scene, and not just the huge manufacturers or people like that? Or, you know, I know they may travel with some, but for instance, I'm right here at the Georgia Conference Center, but I don't know when there's competitions going on. So I need to figure out a way to know that. Another thing that kind of coincides with that, for instance, I asked that my studio owners send me their dress code so that I know what they have. So in the future, maybe I'll ask if you send your dress code and your calendar. That way I know when you have something coming up. I know when your Christmas show is. I know when you're going to be closed. I know when you're going to competition. So that's another thing that maybe some retailers could start doing, or if they're not doing, maybe get the dress code and get us a calendar. Because there are a couple of schools that change their dress codes for certain performances. Like for the school year, they might wear all black jazz shoes, but for this one show, we want a panini or something like that, or we want sand soles or foot soles or half soles or whatever it is that you might want. So that was one of them.
Yeah, that's a great idea to sort of collect all of the calendars of your local studios. Also, if anyone in the audience has an idea or a resource for how you keep track of what competitions are coming to your area, please stick it in the chat if you have it.
Absolutely.
All right, what about you, Jennifer? Tell us a little bit about yourself and your store, and then any reactions to what Becca and Danny and Sandy had to say, and any thoughts about how you are planning for the rest of the year.
Well, I must say, first, thank you very much for including me in this, but I am very excited to hear how positive they have been, in truth, because it's a little worrisome when you don't really get a lot of feedback from the studios. Now, when you were mentioning that you try to reach out to the studios, I'm consistently trying to email and get information from them and information to them that I can help them with their bulk ordering. There's so a little bit about myself real quick. I'm Jenny from Williamsburg, Virginia. And so we have this huge peninsula where I am. And then the next store would be in, further down and further, very far away. So we have a lot of studios to pull from. However, more than half, of course, use Revolution or something of that nature, whatever. And they, when they need something on the fly, of course, they come to us. And my biggest business, of course, is point shoe business. However, it's still kind of frustrating when I try to contact them and let them know that I can give them better prices on name brand things. And then, of course, they don't even contact back 99% of the time. And the 1% of the time that I do get back, it's great. I'm very, very excited about that. As far as ordering this year, I have found that, granted, sales are down about 1/4 from last year, which I'm really excited about, because only being 1/4 as opposed to going from 0, and then slowly working your way back up, I can deal with 1/4. But actually this month was surprisingly very busy because there were 2 competitions that happened that were close enough that many studios went to. So that was very positive and very wonderful. And everybody was very excited because they were done pretty much really quick. Anyway, ordering, I normally order about 40% to 60% of my inventory for the year through fall special orders, bulk orders from these major dancewear companies. And of course, this year, I have maybe ordered 25% already. And I don't know if I'm going to add much more to that, because I am very worried. I don't want to be caught with a bunch of inventory left. But another thing that I did do was I also consolidated, because I had a lot of variety, like 20 different types of ballet shoes, just the little flat pink ones. And now, I'm just really honing in on the very top sellers, as opposed to constantly keeping everything in stock. And yes, it all sells, but some more than others. And you have just those people that specifically want things, and that's fine. And I've offered to order for them each time. So I've had to definitely streamline what I order. And so there's not as much variety out there. My leotards, I still carry many fashion items, but of course, I think I've increased a little bit more on the more economical ones. But surprisingly enough, I brought in some expensive fashion, and those have also moved pretty positively. So it's the ones in the middle are the ones that are kind of just sitting there, which is kind of funny. But other than that, I'm really looking forward to this year. And I've just, instead of having this stuff in stock, I just realized I'm going to have to keep on top of it much more. I won't get the discounts I normally get, but that's fine too. And I'll just have to keep on top of it and consistently order once a week, once a day, if need be, from these companies. Now, you also had mentioned about shipping, and I'm consistently running into those issues as well, like from major companies, dance wholesalers, the really big ones. The product will say coming in March 29th, and then, or should I say, February 29th or 28th, and then you look again the next week and it's not coming in until, the 3rd or the 5th. And then you look again and it's not coming in until the 20th. It's just constantly being set back. And mainly it's because of shipping containers. It's right now, there's a run on them, oddly enough, throughout all of the world. So getting product in is difficult, and it is upsetting, because I tell these people, oh, it's in stock, or oh, it should be here on this date, we should have it within a week, and then it doesn't come in, and then it's disappointing, and it's like, oh, we'll be next week, oh well, no, it'll be the week after. That's kind of hard. And just as long as everybody understands that's out there, the customers, that they have to I guess just understand that timing is not what it used to be. It is a little different nowadays. It's going to be a little slower. Sometimes you can get things quicker, but just expect delays, especially with shipping. That's pretty much it. But I'm really excited about this this year coming up. I really hope it does very well.
Yeah. Rashawn, what about you in thinking about ordering and inventory management and stuff like that? Where are you with that right now?
I feel pretty much the same way that she does. The manufacturers are out of a lot of things, and I know it's because they're all going through things as well, or they've had to change who their suppliers are, or there's a few manufacturers who have split with whoever they've been with, and now they're trying to figure out their own thing. And it makes it really difficult when your customer comes in and they want to order or they want to purchase something and you don't have it. And then they may say, you never have anything. And it's like, it's not me.
Yes. I'm like, what are you talking about?
I do. I have it. They don't have it, and I can't get it for you. And so I pride myself on trying to be the best at what I do and offer the best customer service as I can. I try to make every one of my customers feel like a VIP person as soon as they come in the door. But when you can't get them the things, because that's why they're there. It's for that. You know, they want the VIP and they want to feel good, but bottom line is they want a product. And so getting products is a little difficult, and it's a little hard to order right now because it's a supply and demand. So my business, I think, is doing really well. I'm feeling very positive and inspired right now because we're still here, and I'm so grateful for that. But I can't just order like tons of things because there aren't tons of kids in the schools, even though they're coming back. And then what happens is something might change in the dress code, and then I've ordered everything that you had last year for the dress code, and then you change. And one of the things that that Becca had said was how the studios were going to just black, and that stopped a lot of our sales because all they had to do was go get what was already in their closet. They didn't need to leave, and they didn't need to come to the store. They didn't need to purchase. There is a school that I work with on a regular, but at this time, they stopped wearing uniforms because they couldn't dress out. So they just wore black shorts or whatever they had that they could wear under their skirts or whatever. So that was a huge thing. So now that the schools are slowly coming back, but the manufacturers haven't got back to where they need to be, it makes us look a little bad. It makes us look like we don't have anything. And then the shipping, oh my God, the shipping is just a whole nother thing. There are certain companies that you used to could depend on and know that I'm gonna get this product every single Wednesday. If I order this on Monday, I know their stuff will be here Wednesday. And they've changed everything that they do. And then FedEx does their own thing. So that's a whole nother thing. So ordering has been a challenge because the manufacturers are out of a lot of stuff. They're out of a lot of stuff. And so as much as we try to say, let me try to find another manufacturer, let me find it from this company, or let me try to do this, you do everything you can to try to accommodate your customer as much as you can. But sometimes it's hard. I have found that I've gotten to know my local retailers around here, and so we can call each other, or I call them. I don't know how y'all feel about me, but I love you guys. And so I will call and be like, hey, this is Miss Rowe. Do you have this? I'll come pick it up. Can I get it, or can I send my customer to you? Because like I said, my bottom line is to get them what they need. And if sending them somewhere else at one time is what they need, and I can help them do that, then I will call. I'll make the call for them. I just tell them, don't find your home over there. Come on back. But I will help you find whatever it is that you need. So there's that.
Yeah. I love that. I love that as sort of a workaround and a really smart customer service move. Jennifer, as you face these issues, have you found any of those that have worked either as a workaround or even just like a way of relating with a customer to help them sort of understand the position that you're in? Like, how do you deal with those tricky situations?
Yeah, I try to offer something else that is just as comparable. Maybe, maybe not. I try, especially tights. Tights are one of the big ones, really, because of course there are a trillion tight colors from a trillion different places, and each studio slash class slash competition number wants a specific shade or wants them to match the skin tones, and that's a totally different matter there. But especially when they want the same shade. And the hardest part is A, getting it in from the companies, as she mentioned, and then B, us not knowing ahead of time that they're even coming for this stuff. We'll get all of a sudden 30 people in and buy out every single stirrup, capezio, crazy color tight that I, normally wouldn't stock. And then, the next day more people are coming in because of a competition. And I'm like, I don't have it. I can't get it for you. But if I had been given at least 2 weeks notice from whomever runs that studio class competition, granted, now I have been told from recently that it was sprung on them very quickly because of not knowing if things were going to happen, and that's understandable. But in general, if we were given just a little bit of heads up, we could have that product in, and then that would that's awesome. It's really about the communication between the studio, and if you try to communicate with the studio and they are receptive to that communication, it's a beautiful symbiotic relationship. But it's just getting, and I understand everyone is busy. We all have things that we are in our lives that we are taking care of, and sometimes the dance wear is just not on the forefront of many of these teachers, and which is great. I mean, I understand you got to focus on what you need to focus on, and so that kind of gets the back burner, which and anyway, I would just love a better relationship with the studios myself.
Yeah. So yeah, getting back to that idea of communicating with studios, communicating with competitions. In the chat, we have a few suggestions about competitions specifically, which I think are smart. Checking out your local conference center's calendar for who's coming through there. Sign up for competition convention studio email lists. And a few folks have mentioned websites that will list competitions near you. If anyone has a particular one that you like, please do drop it in the chat. But back to the idea of communicating with studios, which keeps coming back up. I wonder if we could bring back in Becca and Danny for our last few minutes here, if they have any suggestions on making that connection a bit better, making sure you're talking to the right people, not feeling like you're bugging them.
Yes.
Yeah, any thoughts there, ladies?
Yeah, hi guys. I think just like you guys said, like everybody's so busy. You guys are busy. We're crazy busy. I mean, I think we said even when we were talking, when we did our little intro call, we were talking about how like it's hard to get to us. It really is. I mean, we have 1,100 students. We have 25 teachers. Like we're just so crazy. I think that's my thing though, is that like we've had a really like the Dancewear store that we use locally, we have a really good relationship with, but we've known them forever. Do you know what I mean? So like it's already kind of set up on autopilot. I have her cell phone number. She has our cell phone number. So that's that. Okay. But what does happen is we have had some other Dancewear stores that will just come in and they'll drop off the coupons, which is great. But my thing is, it's like if you literally packaged that in a way or sent it in an email in a way that was so easy that there was no way, like if you asked me to call you back, I'm probably not going to do it. Like that's just me being really honest. And I think that's where our customers are too. Like we can't, like every mom wants to go to our website and register, period, end of story. They don't want to come in and talk to us. Do you know what I mean? And it's not that we don't want to talk to you. We're just really busy. So like if we got an email or a package or something and it was attention to us or attention to our studio manager that just said, I just want you to make it as easy as possible for me. If you sent me something that said, hi, here's a Google form and we want all of can you upload your studio dress code or can you upload your competition dates? I think relationships is a big way to do it. And the more you come at us with something that is interesting and different, the better we're going to respond. But I think just dropping off the flyers, and I'm not saying that any of you guys do this, I'm just saying that like that is our personal experience, and it's not a bad experience. I go to some of those dancewear stores too, but what I'm saying is the things that would be, if you do something different that's going to set you apart, I'm going to be more attracted to using your business. And honestly, Discount Dance, I saw a thing about that, and we have used Discount Dance in the past. Like right now we're not, we're using our local dancewear store. It's just been easier for us, but they made it really easy for me. We were at Dance Teacher Summit and she set up a meeting with me, and she set up a meeting with me and gave me all the things. I signed it right there and we were done. She sent me an email that I could send to all of my kids, done. So I think it's just a matter of making it, as again, putting it back on us. We're the same way with our customers. Danny and I are constantly brainstorming, what can we do to make this as simple as possible? I mean, and then it does go back to relationships, you know, like I love using social media to connect with our followers. Like, honestly, you can get me on the Rhythm Dance Center Instagram. You can get me way quicker there than if you call Rhythm Dance Center. Like, that's just because that's where I am, because I do our Instagram. But I think it's just like trying to figure out a way to, and like I said, some of those other ideas, like offering to sponsor the senior company, or offering, you know, we're offering to do like a pop-up shop when you do have those fashion leotards. Cause I mean, we want our kids to not be wearing all black, believe me, like, especially when they go to conventions or they have an audition video they have to submit, they want a colorful leotard. Like, you know, maybe you send out something to us once a month in a newsletter, and a lot of you guys may already be doing that. I just think that the more simple it is for us to access whatever opportunities you have for a studio owner, the better, because all studio owners are nightmares. Like, I'll just say it, like, we're all like, it's so hard to get in touch with us. And it's not that we don't want to talk to you, or if you can get to those competitions or conventions, and then we're all there, and talk to us there.
And I think somebody commented in the comments in the chat, but our website does have a PDF of our entire dress code. So that's one way. I mean, it's going to be time consuming for you to go to every website of every dance studio in your area and try to find their, and if they can't, then you start, you know.
Yeah, or then just call or send an email and says, hi, I got your dress code off of your website. We would love to offer this coupon to all of your students. Like, rather than asking me for my dress code, if you were able to get it, now maybe not every studio has it on their website, but it's on our website.
And I think somebody else was saying too, as far as the competition schedules, you're always going to know. Now, you might not know too far ahead of time, but you can kind of predict at least the week before when a competition is happening in our area, because it's all over our social media.
I also think if you put like an auto reminder, like if you really wanted to work with my studio, like, you know, like, this is a studio I want to work with, bug the crap out of me.
We tell our staff that, just bug us. Keep
like, send an email. Hi, Becca. I know you guys have Nouveau coming up. Is there any way I can assist you? Because I may get that email at that moment and be like, oh my gosh, yes, we need 10 pairs of tan tights. Can I send a mom over to pick those up? Like, I think it's just like about the relationships and being persistent, honestly.
Staying in our faces.
Because it's not that we don't want to work for you, just sometimes other people are making it easier for us to work with them, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But anyway, hope that helped.
It does.
Yes, thank you.
I want to support the local dancewear stores.
Yeah, thank you. All right, that is about all we have time for. But this was great. I think it really, well, it was inspiring to hear the positivity for one, and also I think spoke to the importance of, you know, building relationships across the dance field and how we can make each other stronger. So I think that's a great note to end on. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Becca, Danny, Jennifer, Rashawn, Sandy. We really appreciate your insight. And that concludes our whole event for today. So thank you so much for joining us. We hope it's been helpful and addressed some of the challenges you're facing as dance retailers, and perhaps provided some inspiration, and that this can be a better year for us all. We have some polling questions here as we wrap up that we would love for you to answer. We'd also like to give a final thanks to our sponsors. Whiz Bang Retail Training, and Ballet Rosa. If you are not already subscribed to Dance Business Weekly, we hope that you will do that and get great dance retailer content in your inbox every Thursday. You can go to dancebusinessweekly.com/newsletter to subscribe. We will put that in the chat. And I think that is everything. Thank you so much, everyone, and enjoy the rest of your Tuesday.